Stranger Things. Season 5 is getting showered with praise. Critics love it, fans are losing their minds, and honestly, I'm not surprised. This show is a global phenomenon, a cultural relic that's been crawling toward its finale for almost a decade. Naturally, the hype was unreal, but that same anticipation? It's blinded everyone to a brutal truth. Season 5 is 10 pounds of crap stuffed into a 5-pound bag. And before you call me a rage baiter or say, I can't enjoy anything, chill. Let's take off the nostalgia goggles for a second and look at this story objectively. Because when you strip away the fan service and the synthwave, the cracks are impossible to ignore. So buckle up. We're tearing down the illusion that Stranger Things 5 is peak cinema. Chapter 1, Die Already. At this point, Stranger Things has become infamous for one thing. It refuses to kill anyone that matters. The Duffer brothers have mastered a bizarre little formula, a way to pretend like there are stakes without ever actually having any. I call it the disposable darling technique. You introduce a new, lovable side character, one that's easy to root for, but completely irrelevant to the main crew, then slaughter them to fake emotional depth. It started with Barb, then Bob, then Billy, and finally, Eddie. They're all sympathetic, all likable, and all replaceable. Nobody gave a damn about Barb except Nancy. Even Barb's own mom moved on faster than the writers. Joyce was sad about Bob, sure, but you know Hopper was low-key relieved. Dude wanted to slide in like, your move, Winona. Then there's Billy, punk, died. Max cried. Nobody else cared. Okay, maybe Karen Wheeler did, but that's another discussion. And Eddie, the fan favorite who should have mattered. But even he didn't connect to anyone beyond Dustin. One emotional bromance, that's it. The rest of the party? Barely noticed he was gone. That's why every high-stakes moment in this show feels hollow. No tension, no consequences. Just emotional bait. Even when Max literally dies, Eleven just revives her through some unexplained anime tier miracle. So going into Season 5, I thought, maybe this time they'll actually do it. Maybe they'll finally commit. And when the Demogorgons tore into Karen and Ted, I was ready to clap. I was like, finally. But nope, still alive. Because of course they are. This was a perfect chance to raise the stakes, to remind the audience that Vecna isn't just creepy, he's dangerous. But the show chickens out again. Now Demogorgons, once the face of terror, can't even kill an angry suburban mom with a wine bottle. At this point, dying in Stranger Things is a temporary inconvenience. Hopper dies again, with a bomb strapped to his chest, giving Eleven a dramatic farewell. Emotional, intense, until we cut back and he's totally fine. No explosion, no sacrifice, just another fake out. This show keeps setting up death flags only to wave a get-out-of-death-free card. They want the emotional payoff without paying the price. And by now, the audience is numb. We've been teased too many times. Every sacrifice scene feels like déjà vu. And that leads us straight to the next disaster. Chapter 2. Vecna is all steak and no sizzle. Vecna is supposed to be the big bad, the final boss, the endgame villain. But let's be real, he's all steak and no sizzle. I'll give credit where it's due. He looks better this season. Season 4. Vecna looked like someone left a squid in the microwave too long. His reintroduction? Cool. Kills a bunch of soldiers. Shows off his powers. Then walks away. Wow, terrifying. Truly. Vecna is one of the weakest final villains ever written. And here's why. A real antagonist isn't scary just because they look gross or float around monologuing. They're scary because they win. They push the hero to evolve, to suffer, to grow. A great villain breaks something fundamental: hope, innocence, security, forcing the hero to rebuild stronger. Look at Agent Smith in The Matrix. He's everywhere. He beats Neo, corrupts allies, destroys morale. Every fight matters. Every loss transforms Neo. Without Smith, Neo never becomes the one. Even the endings are similar. Neo diving into the Matrix to save his friend, losing the fight, then rising again through love and willpower. That's mythic storytelling. But Vecna? He's the knockoff brand version of that arc. He never truly breaks 11. He never wins. He's not a catalyst. He's a speed bump. This guy got wrecked by 11 when she was 7. That's not a villain. That's a tutorial boss. Even when he wins in Season 4, opening the Mother Gate, the world-ending event that should have rewritten the story, nothing changes. By season 5, Hawkins is fine. Just another gate, just another episode. So what's left? A neutered villain with cool powers and zero narrative purpose. Vecna looks intimidating, but narratively, he's irrelevant. And that's not even his worst problem. Chapter 3. Vecna is a dumbass. Vecna isn't just underwritten, he's an idiot. This guy commands interdimensional monsters, commands the Upside Down itself, manipulates minds, shatters bones, tears through time and space. And yet somehow, he keeps getting outsmarted by a bunch of teenagers on bikes. Like, bro, you're losing to Scooby-Doo logic. Every time he has someone cornered, he talks instead of killing them. Nancy could have ended her instantly. Instead, he gives her the full villain TED Talk. If Vecna's goal was to be the least efficient overlord in history, mission accomplished. Even the show tries to justify it. He doesn't see them as a threat. Okay, but they've beaten you every single season. Underestimating your enemies once is arrogance. Doing it 5 times is stupidity. If Vecna just snapped necks instead of monologuing, this show would have been 2 episodes long. He literally leaves Will alive, the one person who later kills his Demogorgons and ruins everything. Vecna's greatest weakness isn't 11, it's his own incompetence. And don't even get me started on his plan. He's out here mind-controlling kids to lure them into the Upside Down, when he could just kidnap them. Why waste time playing psychic pen pal when you've got an army of Demogorgons that can teleport anywhere? This man could have ended humanity in 10 minutes flat if he had an ounce of tactical awareness. Send 5 Demogorgons to the Wheeler house. Boom. Mike, Joyce, Will, Jonathan, Karen, gone. Then repeat. 11's the only real threat, so focus your forces there. But nope. Vecna out here doing nothing but delivering monologues like he's auditioning for Shakespeare in Hell. He's got armies, godlike powers, and 0 results. That's not a villain. That's a walking L. Unless season 5 pulls an absolute miracle, Vecna will go down as one of TV's most wasted villains. A character with all the ingredients of greatness, but none of the execution. He's not terrifying. He's tragic, but not in the way the writers intended.